What if everything you were taught about money was wrong? That's the question at the heart of one of the best-selling personal finance books of all time. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The book isn't really about get-rich-quick tricks. It's about how you think about money. And Kiyosaki says that mindset was shaped by two father figures in his life. His real father, his poor dad, was highly educated. He had a good government job and a steady paycheck, but he lived paycheck to paycheck, drowning in bills, and always said things like, "I can't afford that." His best friend's father, his rich dad, never finished 8th grade, but he built a business empire and became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. Instead of saying, "I can't afford that," he trained himself to ask, "How can I afford that?" That one shift in language is the seed of the whole book. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Most people trade time for a paycheck their whole lives. They work hard, get a raise, and the raise mostly disappears into taxes and higher spending. Kiyosaki calls this the rat race, running faster on a treadmill that never actually moves you forward. Lesson 2. Know the difference between an asset and a liability. This is the core idea of the entire book. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Sounds simple, but Kiyosaki points out that most people get this backwards. Your house, for example, most people call it an asset. Kiyosaki says for most people, it's actually a liability, because it costs money every month through the mortgage, taxes, and upkeep, and it doesn't generate income. Real assets look more like rental properties that produce cash flow, stocks and bonds, businesses that don't require your constant presence, and royalties from things like books, music, or patents. The rich buy assets. The poor and middle class buy liabilities they think are assets. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Your job is not your business. Kiyosaki says most people spend their whole career building someone else's dream. Meanwhile, the wealthy spend their evenings and weekends building their own asset column, even while working a regular job during the day. The idea is to keep expenses low, reduce liabilities, and diligently build a base of real assets over time. Eventually, those assets generate enough income that you don't need the job at all. Lesson 4. Understand taxes and the power of corporations. This is one of the more advanced ideas in the book. Kiyosaki explains that employees earn, get taxed, and then spend what's left. But people who own corporations earn, spend, and get taxed on whatever remains after that. That order matters. Business owners can often pay for certain expenses, travel, vehicles, and other costs, through their company before taxes are calculated, in ways an employee generally cannot. This is why Kiyosaki pushes so hard for financial literacy around legal structures, not just income. Lesson 5. The rich invent money. Opportunities don't announce themselves. You have to train your mind to see them. Kiyosaki argues that financial IQ isn't really about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep, how hard that money works for you, and how many generations you can pass it on to. He challenges the reader to stop waiting for the perfect deal or the perfect moment, and instead build the skill of spotting value where others don't. Lesson 6. Work to learn, not to earn. Kiyosaki's real dad told him to go to school, get good grades, and find a safe, secure job. His rich dad told him something very different. Choose jobs and experiences based on what skills you'll gain, not just the paycheck. Learning sales, marketing, communication, leadership, and how to manage cash flow will serve you for the rest of your life, way beyond any single salary. Lesson 7. Overcome the 5 obstacles that stop most people. Kiyosaki names 5 things that hold people back from building wealth: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. Fear of losing money keeps people from ever investing at all. Cynicism, doubt and excuse-making, talks people out of opportunities before they even try. Laziness disguised as being busy keeps people from managing their own finances. Bad habits, especially around spending, quietly sabotage every good intention, and arrogance, thinking you already know enough, stops people from learning the very things that would make them wealthy. So, how do you actually start? Kiyosaki lays out a simple path. Stop working for money and start observing how money actually flows. Build financial literacy so you can tell assets from liabilities on sight. Focus on buying real assets and minimizing liabilities. Learn how businesses and taxes really work. And keep training your mind, because in his words, your greatest asset is your own financial education. The bottom line of Rich Dad Poor Dad is this: it's not how much money you make that determines your wealth. It's how much you keep, how well you put it to work, and how many generations of financial knowledge you pass on. If there's one idea to take away from this whole book, it's this: don't work for money. Learn how to make money work for you.